What they do is what liberals always do. Liberalism, that is statism, cannot work. It does not work. And so what they always do, the statists, is talk about the future. If only they had more money, if only they had more of your property, if only you would surrender more of your liberty and do what they tell you to do, things would just be clicking along beautifully. If only this company would do this, that industry would do that, you would hire these kind of employees, and only if we would move this shell over here and that shell over there. See, it's an endless game with these people. They cannot point to accomplishments in real time. So they create an image of what things would look like if only they had more power, if only the government was more centralized, if only you do without more. So here's Jay Carney today at the White House briefing. Hat tip, real clear politics. Cut one, go.
Congress were to pass the package that the president's going to announce, unemployment would be under 9%.
I think based on when you're talking about economic predictions, yes, economic analysts, economists will be able to look at this series of proposals and say that based on history, based on what we know, based on their collected expertise, that it would add to economic growth and it would cause an increase in job creation.
I ask you something. Do you have to be illiterate to be a press secretary to Barack Obama? Do you have to have Tourette's? I mean, what is the deal here? It's so painful to listen to these people. That aside, but listen to how clever they are. Yes, if only we adopt whatever it is that Obama proposes. Of course it'll come down below 9%. That's what economic analysts say. That's what economists say. Aren't these the same clowns who said pass the almost $1 trillion stimulus and we'll get unemployment under 8%? Aren't these the same jerks who said that already? And one other thing, and this is crucial, and always remember this. Did not Obama and have not his staffers said that but for a tsunami, but for earthquakes, but for hurricanes, but for this, fill in the blanks, that the Obama plan would have worked? Now, isn't the problem with that we have earthquakes and hurricanes all the time and tsunamis? Oh, and the Arab Spring. Isn't it true the Arabs are always murdering each other? So if their defense against a lousy policy and lousy results is all this other stuff going on out here that we can't control, screwed up what we're doing, we know all that other stuff's going to occur again, so why do what they're proposing? Because they're already telling us if all that stuff occurs, whatever Obama proposes won't work. Get it? More Jay Carney. Jay Carney, he's now revealing to us what we already know, but he's underscoring, putting an exclamation mark behind it, which is, look, we tolerate Congress, but our president, he's got a lot of power he's going to exercise on his own. I mean, after all, ladies and gentlemen, for the good of the people, the president will govern by fiat if necessary, as he's been doing all along. Cut two, go.
Why doesn't he give a speech from the Oval Office tonight saying, here's my plan?
He wants to speak before Congress because he recognizes that while there are things he can do without Congress, and he will do them, there are actions that need to be taken with Congress that require legislation to grow the economy and create jobs.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got all these czars sitting around. I mean, they got to do something, right? Czars and czarinas. What do czars and czarinas do? They rule like dictators, right? Isn't that what they are? And by the way, why doesn't he give a speech from the Oval Office tonight? Isn't that what I suggested the other day? Somebody had written me and said he thought that that's what they were going to do. We couldn't confirm it, but why don't they do it? No, we need a joint session of Congress. Oh, excuse me. Fidel Castro wants to speak. And then Jay Carney is on MSLSD, which even the New York Slime says really isn't a news outlet. I say it's the second Comedy Channel with that conga line of freaks they call hosts. Now keep in mind, what do the statists do? They grow government. Where do they grow it? In Washington. Where do they issue all the regulations? From Washington. Where do they want you to send all your money? To Washington. Who expands the bureaucracy? They do. So having created this monstrosity of a federal government in Washington, D.C., now they turn around and they say, people are sick and tired of Washington. We're going to let them get away with that one? Here it is. Jay Carney on MSLSD today, hat tip Washington Examiner, cut 3, go.
Our intention was merely for the President to address a joint session of Congress as soon as possible upon Congress's return from their recess. Both houses are supposed to be and will be in session on Wednesday, next Wednesday. So we asked for that day. We contacted the Speaker's office, informed them that we were going to be asking for that day. No objection was raised at that time. The letter went forward. The Speaker came back later in the day and said that there was a problem with that, logistical parliamentary. And you know what? That's fine. We'll go Thursday. Our interest is in not having a political back and forth here at all. Our interest is in the President speaking to the people, speaking to Congress about the need to do things to create jobs and get the economy going. And that's, look, Americans are sick and tired of the partisan bickering, the gridlock. What we saw over the summer is, gridlock and partisan bickering is not new, but what we saw over the summer is that instead of just being annoying, it can be harmful and dangerous to the economy, to the livelihoods of
Shut
America.
up, you idiot. I can't take you anymore. Mumbling, bumbling fool. Let me tell you what the Americans, that would be us. Let me tell you what the Americans expressed in the last election. That we're sick and tired of you, you creep, and your boss, and all his czars, and his cabinet secretaries, and all the weasels who are squirreling their way into the bureaucracy in every damn department and agency of the federal government. What Americans demonstrated last November is we're sick of your regulations, we're sick of your Obamacare, and we're sick of you, period. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if there isn't gridlock in Washington, which I pray to God for every single day, that means Obama will get everything he wants. Was that what the election results said last November? Give Obama more power? No. We threw out Nancy Pelosi, old stretch. We turned the House of Representatives over to John Boehner. We almost threw out the Democrats in the Senate, and we'll get to them next time around. We would have thrown out Obama if he were on the ticket. And we hope to throw him out again. Americans aren't sitting around, oh, I hate gridlock. We can't stand these people. Now, what they try to do, because that's what propagandists do with language and symbolism and so forth, is try to equate gridlock or disagreement or opposition with job growth. If only Obama was a dictator, if only he had the same Congress he had before, imagine all the good he could do. Oh, we'd be repairing schools all over again. Oh, we'd have a brand new stimulus bill. We'd be working on bridges and roads. Fool us once with that $1 trillion bullcrap. But don't fool us again. It's not going to work. It's not, but for Obama having his way, the economy would be, chugging along. It's the fact that Obama did have his way, that the economy has gone off the rails. The best thing we can hope for right now is gridlock, till we get rid of this cabal and their Marxist policies and breathe some life back into this economy.